Veganism is a theory and way of living which looks for to exclude, as far as is possible and practicable, all types of profiteering of, and viciousness to, animals for food, garments or any type of other function, and by expansion, promotes the progression and make use of animal-free options for th. It better attests that veganism produces the world a far better spot and that veganism attests the perks of veganism. In dietary phrases it represents the strategy of giving along with all products derived fully or mostly from pets. Some pet products contain a man-made alternative, which is similar to a synthetic sugar. These man-made elements can give other foods the artificial premiums of various other active ingredients that trigger their flavor to sample less like their all-natural equivalent. In standard it can be mentioned that you require to inspect if you are acquiring a nutritional substitute of the item you are buying. There are actually several ways to embrace vegan living. The only technique to comprehend the impact of taking in creature products is to eat a whole plant diet plan. All plants and creatures are beneficial and the food market's rate of interest in animals is to generate a great deal of vegetation alternatives that are going to sustain us and nourish us. Nevertheless, these plant choices are not always negative for you. It's simply that we need to acquire that out of the method and acquire to the point where we don't need to have to think regarding it. Yet one trait all vegans possess in common is a plant-based diet regimen steering clear of all pet foods items such as meat, consisting of fish, shellfish and insects, dairy, eggs and honey, as properly as staying away from animal-derived components, products tested on animals and area that utilize. But while Pet Ranch proceeds, veganists are demanding the Government of Canada deliver funds to help generate ranches in Canada that can easily supply alternative diets and produce even more low-sugar options. Past history. Although the vegetarian diet regimen was defined early on in the Vegan Society's beginnings in 1944, it was as late as 1949 before Leslie J. Cross aimed out that the Society did not have a definition of veganism. The title was after that made use of to describe all other animal rights actions under the label, Animal Liberation Movement. In 1948, it ended up being the second tag to be changed, Veganism. The group was banned at that opportunity, and members might not be paid out for subscription. He proposed the concept of the emancipation of pets from profiteering through Guy. But what is the attributes of this principle? He pointed out that the rule of attribute does not provide every human liberation, but only that it would permit a male to work and elevate animals. The regulation of attribute only grants the pet the freedom to recreate for himself, to eat and grow himself, all this on the ailment that he would be free of cost to use these products in his own favor. This is eventually clarified as to find an end to the usage of pets by male for food, products, work, hunting, vivisection, and by all various other make use of entailing exploitation of animal lifestyle through male. The animal rearing neighborhood is not required under this scalp to alleviate any type of member of this area of pets kindly, nor to help the members, but just to work with the members. The culture was first enrolled as a charity in August 1964, but its assets were later on transmitted to a brand new charity when it likewise became a minimal business in December 1979. Billionaire benefactor Gordon Bowers, head of state of the American Friends of Animals, said to The Guardian that after the failure of the British government and the increase of the commercial revolution, the people was forced to relocate ahead of time of the commercialization of their organic SETI. The interpretation of veganism and the philanthropic objects of the culture were modified and improved over the years.